Hello, I need to speak English. Who speaks English? Okay. And this is Billy, actually he's my partner, he speaks Chinese. Actually he's an engineer, software engineer, and together we built something which we call Brand Cloud, and which we think will change a lot. I have one question: how many Android phones and how many iPhones in the room? How many iPhones? And how many Android phones? So everybody has a phone. I think everybody understands this. It means that everybody in this room is connected, and means that everybody in this room can do a business or live a life which was not existent before 5 years ago. So we have heard a lot about production, products, and actually I think there's many designers in the room also, and people who do business, and perhaps some people who have a shop also could be. So we all wonder why it is so difficult, or why today sometimes some people earn very quickly money and some people just die. And nobody knows why. And it has something to do with these phones and with the internet, which came some year ago. I call it also the $5 trillion question. So because $5 trillion is the amount of products sold in the market retail every year, and that's a lot of money. So everybody in this room has a phone, and everybody has expectations. And when you go out in the street, you will be disappointed, because what you expect from your phone, you can make a call and you can watch a movie, and some people say you can pay, but when you go in a shop, you don't find what you want. When you're at home, nobody can tell you where the bag is in the shop. It just doesn't exist. There is no connected world yet. So we as customers have a lot of wishes, and sadly, they don't exist. Means like just some simple explanation, like buying online pickup in store. This is already a difficult challenge for a company. Or buy in a store and send home. Sometimes it works. Or even worse, you find a store and there is nothing, and you want to go in another store because it should be there. Then everything collapses already. And so this is very long of us simple people, but the industry and this internet and all these phones don't do this for us. Okay, this is the story of us. The problem was us, but there are other two people who have some problems. Currently, they are very rich. Especially Czech became very rich 2 months ago. I think everybody would like to be rich like him. And this other guy is a little bit longer in the game, is Jeff Bezos. And I mean, they are rich, but they don't solve the problem we have described before. You can buy something online in their store, an online store, and then somebody brings it to you, and if you don't like it, you need to send it back. So this is a problem for them. He has specifically the delivery problem. They think same-day delivery is good, but when you are in Hualien and the warehouse is in Taichung, then same-day delivery costs a lot of money, and I doubt that he will pay it on the long run. But if you would know that near Hualien there is somebody who has the product, perhaps then it's different. And for this gentleman here, he has, of course, this kind of fake problem. I admire both very much, no question. But this problem he has is beyond his control. He cannot control it. The news everywhere say, yeah, Czech need to control the fake, and everybody thinks he can, but he's just a human. Other people do things he cannot control. He just gives them software. It's getting worse. And then there's somebody else who has a problem. This lady here, which we call the shop owner, probably your mother, father, yourself, and somehow they get problems surviving in today's world. because she has a problem with those two guys. And why is it like this? Yeah, the lady is doing business. Jack is renting her some software, and then she probably finds somewhere that somebody can buy something she cannot sell. Is nice, but at the end of the day, Jack makes the deal. And this guy here, he's a little bit worse, I would say. He says, okay, bring all the people in those shops, show them what you have, then go in front of the door, check your phone and buy it in my warehouse. That's called showrooming. I think the lady will not very long survive if we continue like this. That's the reality. So we all have been in school. We need to calculate sometimes when we have problems. So we need to understand why we have problems. We heard that my wife is making watches, and Florian Serex is trying to make them a little bit more efficient, that the price is better. But at the end of the day, we have to understand why a product costs a certain amount. Today, when I go through traditional retail, through the lady, through the distributor in Taiwan, everybody needs to earn some money. So this we call the value chain here. And that's as we know business today. But we heard before, Jack and Jeff, they sometimes cut off the value chain. For example, they make it here more efficient, and then they buy from here directly to here, and these people lose their job. Question is this good? And I think not. The cost of the watch, or your car, or everything you buy, especially clothes, is mainly, it's not because, wait, sorry, I have to go back from the wrong button, is mainly caused by something which we call the cost of not finding a customer. So when you are a shop owner, the little lady in the store, then she go to a trade show, then she meet me and say, I have a lot of watches for you. Then she selects some, and then she hope that somebody comes in her store. And that's the main cost of a product, and that's what we calculate now. So we do a little bit more math and then it's over. But it's very important to understand also for a regular person what it means. So we have a brand here, has 200 products. That's not ours. I think we have more beautiful ones. And there is a local shop. A local shop perhaps has 1,000 customers, already a lot. It's not so much, this is a lot for a small shop. But imagine Jeff has 270 million customers. So there's already a difference between these two. And now we calculate the chance if somebody comes in the lady's store, how high is it that she will find something she can buy? And this is very sad, actually, but you will see. Nobody is doing this calculation, but it is important for Orange and for me as somebody who wants to solve this $5 trillion question to understand this problem first. And this means when, for example, this shop lady put 15 watches in her store, then the chance is 15 out of 200 times 1, because I don't want to sell you something which you don't like. And this means the chance that somebody buys something is 7.5%. This is not very high compared to Jeff. He needs 200 watches for 270 million people out of 200. So he has a chance of 100%. Of course, he doesn't need so much margin. And that's why you will go out of the store, buy it somewhere else when you have inspected it, and the lady will lose her job in her shop. That's very simple. And it's even worse when you go down, let's say Chinese New Year, end of Chinese New Year. Everybody had a lot of cash, I know. Many people went shopping, but some products still there. The last one, or the last two. So the last one in the shop has a chance of 0.5% that you find a customer. It's just number, no emotion, nothing, just a number. And this is a very sad thing, and that's the problem we have to solve. So how do we increase this chance? So when you need to understand, when we started this brand, Cloud Idea, because we make products, we sell them, then we had to think about what is our price. Traditional way, the price too expensive, we are not rich enough, we cannot start this business. So if we don't solve this problem, then we cannot start this company. And that's why we started to think about this problem. And now the question is, now we know the problems, how do we solve them? And this is called, we say it, actually, I think everybody knows this picture, big fish, small fish, even a bigger fish when you make many small fish. These are, for us, the retailers. And one retailer alone can only shoot a very small hole in Jeff's pocket. So he doesn't even feel it. But if we, it's a little bit communist perhaps, but if we manage to connect all these retailers, which Jason also mentioned, then we actually are bigger, much, much bigger than every Alibaba or anything can be. That's why I call it this $5 trillion question. And the person who has managed to connect the local store, it's not a store anymore, it's a warehouse ID. And when you know that this shoe in this size is in the store over there and you have checked it before, then you will go there because it takes you 3 minutes to walk over the road and you will find it and you will buy it and you want to have the same price. So this business model, it's getting big trouble afterwards. So we created actually a very, very simple idea. It's so simple that it's hard to believe. We connect those retailers, and I was in an iPhone factory 5-6 years ago. I think Czech is other Czech. he showed me around, and this was the first iPhone launch, and I saw 150,000 iPhones shipped per day, and then I calculated. I said, every day 150,000. How many years does it take until everybody has a phone? And then we are in this stage of everybody having a phone today, so we could use this phone. And when we sell a product in future, specifically my wife or I'm bicycles, then why could I not send a cash desk with every product? Because when I send the cash desk, which is actually that's a card reader here, and that's a phone, and that's a computer, it's connected to the internet, so the person connects the product through his phone into the web and makes it visible to everybody. And because everybody is visible then, the price will be different, of course. And so we are using this kind of combination in order to solve this very big problem. So what we do then, actually when you are, everybody can also scan this code, you will see what you find. You will find something different than what I see. But what we do then, you actually go in a shop, you find a product, a box like this. On this box is a QR code. This QR code is scanned by the retailer, the retailer's app, so it's registered. And then with this scan, he's checking actually a certain number in the cloud, somewhere in the sky or underneath the cable, you know. It's everything virtualized. And we checking this code, which is 00999, then we compare, for example, is it this shop where it should be? Or if not, then it's a fake, means checks problem solved. This system cannot be faked. You will find out the second fake, but then we know it. In the luxury business, very important, because people travel to 101 to buy something in order to get a real one, and then they find out that somebody exchanged it up halfway. And actually, at the same time, you learn that you usually, when you buy online, you write your invoice alone, and Jeff is just getting the money, and the machine is doing it. Here is the same. Actually, by scanning, you check out in a store, you take the product home, you get the invoice sent, the retailer get the invoice sent. My wife in Switzerland knows immediately that it was sold, and because she knows it was sold, you know that it's gone. And that's the trick behind it. This actually means that we are running this cloud system and provide it to a brand, and the brand enables the retailers, which should be dying according to your early slides, to make them so efficient that they easily can compete with Jack and Jeff. They are actually more competitive than him because they can show the product. And that's a big, very, very big difference. So the return costs are less. Transaction, technically, everybody in this room, when he gets this reader from me and from Billy a login into our brand cloud app for a specific brand, everybody could sell to his neighbor immediately a product which he has in the pocket. And we would know it, and then we would share the profit. And this is something which is so radical new that it didn't exist before. It just didn't exist. It's a simple idea, but it just didn't exist. And these two components is always create transparency, that's mainly for efficiency increase and for the customer to find the product. And on the other hand, because we have transparency, we can actually use the money in a better way. Because you understand before, the biggest loss of value is that nobody finds the product. It's actually loss of information somewhere. Because if information would be there, then everybody could find it, then you don't need to have so much risk. And that's actually the basics behind it. So, and then we are close to the end. I think we are a little bit too late already. I don't know if we can say something now. But this is what you see in the beginning. This means technically that every product in our world is visible. We make it visible through humans. We don't stick a sensor in there. We actually just identify and make it visible. Of course you can put a sensor there, but sensor is more expensive than a picture. And this means we call it the Internet of Products. Some people have heard about the Internet of Things, but everybody has a fridge at home, and I don't know if the fridge needs to talk to me. I want to find my shoes somewhere. That's much more a problem than the fridge talking to me. And so this Internet of Products is something which also doesn't exist right now. And we're using just phones. We make every product visible. We actually have, because this efficiency gain is so high, you can run a business which was not possible before. The business model itself. And what we also want, I want to have stores around me. I want to have a city which has small things, small little stores, they can survive. And we give them these tools to do so. And at the end, this means for the customer, when the efficiency is high, usually the product is better. This is always the result of efficiency gain. And this means a win-win-win. You can win it 50 times just because we do one thing different. We know where products are. And we just use phones which are already there. You don't need to sell them.
I will speak without microphone now because it's over, but I would like to sell one thing to show that this works. And I will show, I hope it works because internet, you know. But to show what it means to sell one piece immediately with this tool, and then I show you if everything is okay, that the payment has come in, the invoice generated, and you have to imagine this happens somewhere in the world, but we are here and we will see it. So check, I need you. I didn't ask you if you want to have it, but you need to buy it. Yeah. So he's a good friend, but it's not faked. So
The credit card?
I never tried this card, and I don't know if the German transaction handling system likes it. But you know, that's a nice product.
Oh right, very nice.
I will.
What should I do then?
You shouldn't do anything. You gave me your card already.
Okay.
The only thing is you probably want to negotiate with me.
Okay.
Because usually this product costs, when you go online, you sit at home in the bed.
Okay, then I can see a few options,
I show
right?
you something. So, when you are here, that's actually our shop. You can buy these watches online also. That's something in the evening. iPad, you press a button or you sit in the thing. So that's exactly what you see here. And now Billy is a smart guy. He actually designed this app here for the retailer. I am the retailer, you are the customer.
Yeah.
He is the software engineer. Sue is the brand owner. So we need to think like this. And you told me, okay, I would like to buy this.
Yeah.
And then I go in the shop and I actually scan this product. Oh, like this here. It's shaking. No? Here. So now,
It's 100.
yeah, do you have a scanner on your phone?
Yes.
Please
I
scan.
do.
So now you see the same picture on this phone, on this, but it looks different. This is an online shop. This is actually the retailer's platform. But the difference is I can see a serial number. So there's actually a serial number which is unique. I know that this is exactly this piece.
Yeah.
So in this case, it looks like this.
Yeah.
Means that when you are in the store, I
Yeah.
have no time for you because I sell something to you.
Mhm.
Then I can tell you, you probably make a quick link, you scan it by yourself, and then you can watch the internet movie, you can watch a movie for a brand or whatever.
Yeah.
So he is entertained then.
Yeah.
And you could also, some people know Google Glass. I mean, it was not a good business for Terry Go. you explained it, everybody knows that. Okay, so what I do here is now, okay, you know that this costs 100 Swiss francs. We could do it in Taiwan dollar also now, but we do it in Swiss francs. And you would like to buy it. And then I put it for you into the store. Add to cart. Charles, your phone is saying something. So now it says product added to cart. Then you have here another picture.
Okay.
So now I'm in the shopping mode, you are out already.
Yeah.
And then you say, Andy, too expensive. Highway.
Highway.
So, and then I say, yeah, but I need to do the sale, and that's something nobody in the world can do. Now I tell Jack, because we have announced that you can get it cheaper, I will give him a discount. So the retailer is enabled by Zü to give him somewhere in his shop, far away from Switzerland, actually a discount. He is allowed to have a discount of 45% based on this specific situation. Product level, warehouse level, whatever. So because we said we make 60, and I don't want to stress your credit card too hard,
Yeah.
I will just
Go ahead.
I will just select 40% discount, means it's 60 Swiss francs. And then I say, here's adjusted price. Then I say pay. So then here a display is coming for me and says MasterCard, credit card, cash. I could take cash because we are in a shop. You cannot stick cash into a TV. And you can try, but it's not going in there. So the retailer could take on Zü behalf money, and then there's a deal. Then let's say we take MasterCard, and then this little device here.
Yeah.
And then, of course, because it's a very expensive product, I would like to register him. Then it asks me, do you provide customer data, yes or no? Because when you buy toilet paper, you probably don't want to register all the time. But when you buy an expensive watch, perhaps it's necessary because somebody will help you, and afterwards you will have after service and so on. But in order to shortcut it now, we do no. And out of a sudden, I'm here in the payment status mode. And now this device, which is actually in my pocket, hopefully will start. Now connected, query transaction. So at the moment, somewhere in the world, the system will tell Zü server that in Taiwan, Jack Xu wants to buy this item. Present card, please. Give me your card.
Yeah.
Then actually we stick this card in here. Present payment processing. So then it says processing payment. So approved. Remove card. Please sign with your finger.
Yeah. Sign it.
Yeah. Then we press submit signature. Payment processing, remove card, we have done already. So technically, yes, it works.
Yes, it works.
Now, here an invoice will come out. Okay. So this invoice, you will get sent home.
Okay.
But I didn't get your email address, so you won't get it sent home,
Alright.
but the retailer has it. And this invoice says that an agent in Taiwan named Charles Lai, it was me because it was his phone, sold anonymously a product for 100 and gave 40 Swiss francs discount. And we can print it out and I can give it to you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, our big spy at home, Zü, actually can actually also see that here in the back end, this is actually her work environment. Sorry, customer orders. So now she's in Switzerland. Then she will check, and here this was checks purchase right away here in a store. There's nothing faked. And actually the document we created is this. You see here. This was actually Charles Lai created this document in Switzerland, sold this keyring with a serial number unique. 100 regular price, 40 discount, that's what he paid, 8% VAT. We could make it a little bit more complicated with Taiwan VAT, but we do it like this. Can be set in the app, by the way, Euro, US dollar, Taiwan dollar, all kind of tax rates. And even better, and that's what some people also want like to have, is a security that we actually know the payments also. So what I'm now logging in is the payment provider. There's some bank in the background handling all this to make sure everything is safe. And you see here, surprise, surprise, this was actually the transaction we have right away made with your MasterCard and was approved. And I can check the details. And I could refund it, which I don't do because I need 60 Swiss francs. But it's yours. So what you have seen here is something which did not exist until today. Means that business can create, we can create business. A designer can create a sales business model which is so competitive, like Kickstarter, for example. You start a new thing, then you sell it, and then you have a problem distribution. And then you need a big investor, and then they say, you need distribution, and you need big margin and big price, and then the whole thing fails. This is made for a micro distribution world, highly efficient. You see, I need this and this to run a shop. And she needs this to give just the software and this to the retailer. And what we do afterwards is, because you have bought this product for 60, we have probably produced it for 50, we will share the revenue with the retailer. But we also share the 40 euro discount, which means it is much, much, much more competitive than anything else we have seen until today. It is so simple that it's hard to understand. It took us 5 years.
Okay, the question is, the money actually directs go to the brand. So how does retailer get the share revenue?
So we learned before, we sell risk of not finding a customer. Think back some slides. Usually you produce, factory, produce as much as you can, and then you sell. And then you don't care. And out of a sudden it rains and you don't sell bicycles anymore and everybody's nervous. In our world, we actually sell a right on the product, and we ask the retailer to pay a right to be able to be a retailer. The business comes together between the customer and the brand, and we do the same thing than before. There's a price list. Somebody buys a right, not the product, the right to put it in his shop or to own it as a right. When the sale is coming together, we know the price before, we know the price which was sold, and in between we share. In 40, 20, 40, for example. So I think you.
Xin chào bạn ạ. Chào mọi người.